So today it's a speaking session. I'll ask one question per head and let's see how you answer them. Naughty. Why recycling? Why should countries recycle? Who's going to answer this? Why should recycling be done by countries? In this class, it is not necessary that you have paid for the speaking. Payment for the speaking is, for the one-on-one speakings that I hand over to the faculty. Here, it's open class for anyone. Anyone can come out and speak. Okay. Yeah. So don't hesitate. All right. So who would like to answer this? Why should recycling be done?
Can I, ma'am?
By countries. Yes, Gagan.
Yes, ma'am. Recycling should be done by countries because of recycle we can reduce pollution, and it will be grateful for the environment and as well as of all of human beings, and then we can get good environment.
All right. So recycling saves pollution. Yes, it does. But those who are against recycling, they say that even recycling uses up fuel. And by recycling also, when we recycle, even then the quality becomes low. So they say that recycling should not be done. For example, have you ever bought a plastic of bucket of recycled plastic? You can see that it is very different from the fresh plastic bucket, right? So recycling should be done because it is, the main point is when you compare it with the other methods of disposal of waste from the country's perspective. From the country's perspective, if you are saying that it should be compared with other methods. So recycling, landfill or incineration are, in landfill sites are filling up. So landfill is not good. Incineration is burning. Burning releases a lot of fumes, okay, which are very harmful. So recycling should be done from the country's perspective. Why people don't recycle things? Anybody else? Why do people not recycle things?
I think people don't recycle things because there are no clear strategies or ways on how to dispose or even, recycle. Like in my country, there's no recycle station. All waste has to be taken to their neighbor in South Africa. So it's impossible for us to try to recycle stuff.
Yes, so people don't have the know-how, people don't have the method to do it. And then people don't want to put in extra effort. Okay, because it requires extra effort. You have to segregate the waste if you have to recycle things. So when you are putting things in the dustbin, you have to see there is it's mandatory in big cities, to segregate from the houses. They collect like that, blue and yellow buckets. Am I right? Do you have such things in your place?
And ma'am,
Only
can we
in
say
those
like
yes,
it is costly also.
It's costly also
To make
okay.
this.
And people think it doesn't make a difference. Okay. Anyways,
Yes.
how can people be motivated to recycle? Jyoti Yadav, you can answer. Don't worry. How can people be motivated to recycle? Nobody is answering. Yeah.
I think a small.
What is the pronunciation of your name? Yeah, you are answering. How do you pronounce your name?
Me, ma'am?
Yeah.
Oh, Makatleho.
Makatleho. Okay. Okay,
Yes,
Makatleho.
yes.
Do you have a smaller name, nickname?
Constance, Connie.
Constance, Connie. Okay,
Yes.
Connie. Yes, you can answer. How can people be motivated to recycle?
I think governments should sort of establish or have some little funds where people can take their trash too, then maybe get a little fee for that. That
Yes.
would be quite motivational.
Yes, yes, that can be done. You know, when I went to US for the first time way back in 2003, my nephew used to save all the tin cans because there was a store nearby. They used to give $1 for 20 such empty cans. So he was very small at that time, 4 or 5 years, but it was a good motivation to save things and go there. So such incentives can motivate people to recycle. Yes. And what else? Anything else?
And campaign should be done in society.
Campaigning, campaigning,
Campaigning,
CAMPAINing,
campaigning should be
campaigning
done
should be
in
done in the society. Very good.
society.
Yes, that's a good idea. Awareness campaigns should be made so that people are aware about recycling and how they can do recycling. Okay. Then, you know, there is one point in the book essay that some day could be dedicated to recycling. For example, there is an ARD, America Recycles Day. It's a day dedicated to encouraging Americans to recycle and buy recycled products. Okay. And then integrate recycling into the high school educational system so that students, so that children know the benefits of recycling, right?
Ma'am, government should also organize some seminars and camps.
Yes,
That-
why campaigns are the same, it means the same, that point we've done, right? It's the same point, right? All right. So now we'll be discussing some questions related to crime essays. If children behave badly, should parents take responsibility and also be punished? Who is going to answer this? Should parents be held liable for their children's behavior? It means that. So if children behave badly, should parents take the responsibility and also be punished?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
In my opinion, I believe that children should not be punished for parents should not be punished for the crimes committed by their children, although parents are responsible for the upbringing of of their child, but if they will take responsibility of the crimes committed by children, then children will not take accountability of any kind of crime they commit in their future life, and they will not be aware of that what they are doing wrong to someone, and why they are hurting to someone in which way they are
hurting के बाद टू नहीं आना, बाकी आपने बहुत, you've given a very good answer, Richa. Yes,
you, ma'am.
children should not, parents should not be punished, but they should be held responsible because they are in fact bringing up their children. But then, you know, you can also say that there are external influences also which parents cannot help. Sometimes under the influence of peers,
peer pressure.
peer pressure, children commit crime. Okay,
Yes,
so if they do any, if they behave badly, they can go into drugs. Okay,
Yes,
then parents can't help it. Okay, at
Yes, ma'am.
times, but ultimately it is the parents' responsibility. They should take the responsibility, but they should not be punished.
Not be punished for.
Punishment should go to the children. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. If a 5-year-old commits a crime, now it's a question of a 5-year-old. Okay. Should his parents accept responsibility, and how should they be punished? How should the parents be punished? And what is the age of a child when parents no longer have the responsibility of a child's behavior? So earlier question was referring to children, you know, children can be older children also. Now it's a question of a 5-year-old. Till 5 years, are there any external influences like peer pressure and all?
No.
No. So
it's a sole responsibility of the parents, like because the kids is not or child is not aware about anything. So it's a sole responsibility of parents to teach him,
yes, yes.
and whatever the punishment is, it's sole responsibility of parents. So the solution may be like they should get the trained on how to grown up the babies and
How
all.
to
So
grow up. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
So if a 5-year-old commits a crime, parents should be held responsible because they are ultimately the ones who bring up the children, and it really depends on the upbringing at till that age at least. And what should be the age when parents should no longer be held responsible for their child's behavior?
I think 12.
You can say when the peer influences grow, like you can say teenage, up till teenage till 12. Yes, parents should be held responsible. After that, external influences are more powerful. Okay.
Ma'am, after puberty, children get attracted to bad, negative things more.
Yes. Yes. Um Okay. So what are the causes of juvenile delinquency? Now, this word is very important. When you get an essay, they will not use this word. They will say crimes committed by children are going up. Crime committed by children. Children, juveniles. Delinquency is crime. Delinquent is criminal. So juvenile delinquency. This is an important word for you all to know, because this word you are going to put in the essay if they ask you in recent years, the number of crimes committed by teenagers in major cities throughout the world is increasing. Give reasons and suggest some solutions. So what are the reasons for the crimes committed by children?
Ma'am, can you repeat the word which you said?
Juvenile delinquency, Juvenile, juvenile. Delinquency, Delinquency, juvenile delinquency. Okay.
Ma'am, juvenile delinquency is depends on various situation. First of all, as we said, that peer pressure, and second is the most important factor is the social media, and in which various applications are actually coming up nowadays, where children are getting influenced by that and taking step against in influence of that.
Okay. Yes. So basically the causes of
Ma'am,
juvenile.
lost by their parents. उनको
Pardon?
attention नहीं, मैम
Yes.
parents की attention नहीं मिल पाती इसलिए भी
हाँ, बिल्कुल बहुत अच्छा है. Parents are busy in their work and they don't
work,
give
they
much
don't have
attention.
time, they don't
Yes.
have time to
So
their
basically,
children.
how you can, when you get an essay, you need to, demarcate the point separately. So first point will be media. In media, you can add social media also. So media, it includes social media also. Okay, apps and all. You answered very well, Jyoti. It was a very good answer you've given. Okay. The second point is the changing family structure. Now, earlier there were joint families. There was always somebody to keep an eye on the children. Okay, but now joint families are no longer there. There are nuclear families, and there is nobody to keep an eye on children, nobody to teach moral values to children. So that, and because of that, the influence of media and the influence of peers becomes more strong. Because अगर दादा दादी घर में होते बच्चे, तो बच्चों के जो फ्रेंड सर्कल पे भी उनकी नजर होती है. ठीक है. अब when there are nuclear families, parents don't know much about the friend circle, so peer pressure can become very strong. Okay. And media also. See, media, because nobody is there to keep an eye on children, children can watch almost anything they want. They can spend hours on social media without anybody telling them not to do so. Okay, then another cause of juvenile delinquency is poverty, unemployment, competition, because this is causing hopelessness and frustration among the youth. And they have a lot of energy, and if that energy is not channelized in the right direction, it goes towards crime. Okay. Then consumerist society also is a big factor. Consumerist society, children are seeing things all around them. They want this, they want that, they want everything they see. Okay.
Can we say, ma'am, they are getting negative feedback? They are getting they are acquiring negative things rather than positive,
Yes.
because their mind like that
Yes, so that is there. Basically, there's nobody to guide them. So they are, and it's the negative things that the children pick up very soon. Okay.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
that is, yes, that is there. What are the solutions for you reducing juvenile delinquency? What are some steps which can bring down juvenile delinquency? Yes.
Ma'am,
For
Yes, yes.
if root causes are addressed, then crime can be prevented, ma'am, such as employment, poverty, malnutrition, and illiteracy. If we will vanish out these things, then the crime rate can be decreased.
Yes. If we'll
Among
vanish out
children.
is not a very good word. If we'll decrease these things or,
Yes, ma'am.
try to bring down these things. All
Yes,
right.
ma'am.
Yeah, one thing I would like to make it clear, sometimes the essay has the word young people are committing crimes. And sometimes the word is children. So when it is children, don't put the point of unemployment in that because children are not
Okay.
supposed to be working.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. If it is young people are committing a lot of crime, youth crime, then you can use the word, unemployment as causes, right? Just take a note of that because बच्चों में अगर आप unemployment का point डालोगे, that means आप 13-14 साल के बच्चे को expect कर रहे हो कि वो काम कर रहा है, काम नहीं कर रहा तो वो crime कर रहा है. That is wrong. That would be
Okay.
wrong. All right.
तो मैम
Yes.
यंग पीपल के साथ जुवेनाइल
जुवेनाइल
डेलिंक्वेंसी
वर्ड आ
यूज हो
जाएगा,
सकता
हाँ उसके साथ भी आ जाएगा जुवेनाइल डेलिंक्वेंसी, उसमें भी वर्ड आ जाएगा. बट यंग पीपल तो देखो 30-35 भी हम यंग ही है आज तक. मैं अपने ग्रैंडसन के साथ हंस रही थी. मैं कहा मैंने उसको बोला, मैंने कहा हाउ ओल्ड आर यू? कहता है 8 years old. सो मेरे को कहता है हाउ ओल्ड आर यू? आई सेड आई एम 62 years young. So like, how can you be young at 62? And I said, you are saying you are 8 years old, so you are old. I am not saying I am old, I am young. So उसको उसके साथ बड़ा मजाक करा हमने. बार बार सब पूछ रहा था, how can it be possible that it's 62 years young and I'm 8 years old? How can I be old and Nani can be young? I said it can happen. So because what you say, I was just laughing at. So juvenile, you can use the word anywhere, anyways. Okay. Then other steps, moral education should be in the school curricula. Do you have moral education nowadays in the classes? I used to have moral science as a subject when I was young. Moral science. अभी subject है ऐसा कोई? मेरे बच्चों ने नहीं पढ़ा.
No, I don't think so. There is a
compulsory.
है?
No, ma'am.
हम हैं भी है, some schools में कईयों पे नहीं भी हैं.
हाँ तो देखो मेरे स्कूल में था जब मैं छोटी थी. मैं 64-65 की बात करूँ, मुझे याद है moral science पढ़ते थे हम. Okay. And
अभी भी है मैम बच्चों की
है?
यस मैम.
मेरे बच्चों की क्लास में moral science as a subject बुक्स नहीं थी.
मैम अभी है नहीं वैसे दिल्ली के स्कूल में तो नहीं है, बट मेरे बच्चे कॉन्वेंट स्कूल में जाते हैं तो वो अलग ही वे में टीच करते हैं वो सब चीजें उनको.
वो मतलब वैसे
कॉन्वेंट में मैम उसमें भी है. मेरी डॉटर कॉन्वेंट स्कूल में ही है, वहाँ पे भी मोरल साइंस उनका एक सब्जेक्ट है.
मैं भी कॉन्वेंट में बचपन में पढ़ी हूँ ना, उसकी बात कर रही हूँ. वी यूज्ड टू हैव मोरल साइंस एज अ सब्जेक्ट. अभी है कि नहीं आई डोंट नो, बिकॉज मेरे बच्चे कॉन्वेंट में 10th तक ही पढ़े हैं. 10th तक नहीं थी उनके. यहाँ बीच बीच में पता है क्या होता है, दे रिमूव द सब्जेक्ट्स, देन दे रियलाइज इनको वापस लाना है, देन दे ऐड देम बैक टू द करिकुलम. These things happen. And another solution is that parents can be good role models. Parents can be good role models. All right. So next is friend circle of the children should be monitored. Censorship of the TV programs, or you can say parents should block those TV channels which they don't want their children to watch. Okay. The very important step that can be taken by almost everyone is joint families should be encouraged. Joint family system should be encouraged, right? Government should try and reduce unemployment and poverty. Okay. Now, my next question is, should young people who commit serious crime be punished in the same way as adults? Who will answer? Other students, you're all silent, students. Thoda sa aage aao, bolo. Anybody else? Anybody can come out. Rachna, would you like to answer?
Ma'am, I am on duty.
Tejinder, okay, I understand. Tejinder? Vipul, Sandeep, Richa, Raksha, Praveen. I'm seeing so many names here. Nuria, Manpreet, Mohan, Kirandeep. Nobody is answering. It looks as if just 2-3 students are there in the class.
Can you repeat the question, please?
Okay, aapke, whosoever is speaking, your voice is cutting. It's not coming out proper. There's some problem with the network. But anyways, I'll repeat the question. Young people who commit serious crimes. The question is, young people who commit serious crimes, should they be punished as adults or should they be punished differently? Who would like to answer this? Yes, Vipul.
It's
Yeah. Go ahead, Nick. You want to answer?
no, talk.
Okay. So I think they should not be punished like adults because they are young and they are need to know a lot of differences of the moral things. So I think they should give the community services and they should align with the old age where they can do the services as a punishment.
Yes.
So
they can also be sent to juvenile detention homes where they are educated and taught, given some sort of education or vocational education, vocational training, so that they become responsible citizens later on and they have something to work, they have some talent, skill to work and earn money later on in life, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, very good. That's a good answer. See, the points that we have put in the SAR, first point we have put is, although young people know they are doing the wrong thing, when they are doing the wrong thing, they cannot see the long-term consequences of their actions. It is only with age and maturity that that understanding comes. So they should not be punished in the same way as adults. Okay. Second thing is that if they are tried in adult court, they may even be sent to prison. And prisons act as universities or schools of crime because there are PhD professors in crime inside. And these, undergraduates come in contact with those people and they learn even better crime, right? So you can say prisons, they can be sent to prisons and then that would be very detrimental for them. Third point is that, that is the age when young people get educated and learn to become responsible citizens. If that age is spent in prison, that means their education is also gone. That means tomorrow when they'll come out of prison, they will reoffend because they have nothing to do. They have no education in their hand. They have nothing, no skill in their hand. So they will definitely reoffend. So that would be a very wrong approach because that is the age that is a critical age in the development of the individual. And last point which we have put in the essay is that children are not permitted the same rights and responsibilities as adults. So like voting, drinking, smoking, like 18 is the age for that because society recognizes their inability to make adult decisions. So punishing them in the same way as adults would be wrong. So these are the 4 points. Now, if you get an essay for speaking, your answer is good enough, people. But if you get an essay, you need to have all the points in your hand. So I think these ideas will help you now that you get an essay on young people doing serious crime and should they be punished as adults. There was another essay. There is another essay in the book that is a recent newspaper article reported that a 14-year-old boy who seriously destroyed his school got the punishment to clean the streets instead of being sent to prison. Okay. Do you think this is right? So this is community service, clean the streets. This is community service. A 14-year-old boy, he committed the crime of doing something wrong in the school, damaging the school or something. So he was not, punished in the other way. He was made to do cleaning of the street. So do you think such criminals should be sent to prison? So there you can say no, they should not be sent. And all the points which we have done in this essay, you can put. Is that clear? This essay also?
Yes, ma'am. Very good
Yes,
point.
ma'am. Yes.
All right. Now, studies show that many criminals have a low level of education. For this reason, people believe that the best way to reduce crime is to educate people in prison so that they can get a job when they leave prison. Do you agree or disagree? Now I am telling you one thing. It looked like a very long sentence. Very long sentence. But many of my students have come out of the speaking examination hall and they've told me, ma'am, there were mile-long questions in the follow-up. And I could not understand one or two questions at all. Anybody of you who has taken the IELTS recently, can you vouch that there are mile-long questions in the follow-ups at times, like very lengthy questions? You have to listen very intently to know what the examiner is asking. So this essay topic is, and I'm asking you as a question, this topic. So who will answer it? You can now listen to it again, think of an answer and speak out. Studies show that many criminals have a low level of education. For this reason, people believe that the best way to reduce crime is to educate people in prison so that they can get a job when they leave prison. Do you agree or disagree?
Agree.
Agree. अच्छा ठीक है. Prison में educate कर दिया. बाहर आएंगे job लेने. आप job दोगे prison से बाहर निकले बंदे को?
For these things, we should give them training, job, some kind of training inside the prison.
वो भी inside prison training भी ले लें. I mean, फिर भी आप उनको बाहर आके job मिलेगी. अगर अंदर उनको carpentry सिखा दी, मैं अपने घर में लकड़ी का काम कराऊंगी उनसे.
First, people should accept them.
So people will not accept them. So this is not the best way. Disagree. Don't agree. Disagree.
The society will not accept such type of people.
That is what I'm saying.
Society will not accept.
Yes, they accept नहीं होता, accept होता है. ACCEPT is accept. जब दो C इकट्ठे आते हैं, it is accept. आप रास्ते में कोई साइकिल की स्कूटर से टक्कर हो गई, आप क्या बोलते हो? एक्सीडेंट बोलते हो कि एक्सीडेंट बोलते हो?
एक्सीडेंट.
हाँ, तो अगर आपने इसको एक्सेप्ट बोलना ना आज के बाद, तो उसको भी एक्सीडेंट बोलना. ओके?
Ma'am, can you spell delinquency?
Delinquency, DELIN. किसी ने चैट बॉक्स में डाले हुए स्पेलिंग्स. DELINQUENCY. Delinquency. Okay?
Thank you, ma'am.
All right. So you can say it is a good method, but it is not the best because society will not accept them. Even if they get educated, they will not be accepted by the society. So they should, what is better for the prisons to, and secondly, the best way to reduce crime. This will not reduce crime because they are talking about कि जिन्होंने पहली बार crime कर लिया है, prison में उनको educate करो. समझ गए बात? तो reduce नहीं हो रहा crime. री-ऑफेंस रिड्यूस हो रहा है. क्राइम तो वही का वही है. सो हमने इसके डिसएग्री करके बोलना है कि ये मेथड रिड्यूस करने का अच्छा नहीं है, बेस्ट नहीं है. सबसे बेस्ट मेथड है कि क्राइम को पहली बार होने से रोको. ये तो बात हो रही है ना कि प्रिजन में उनको एजुकेट करो. दैट मींस पहली बार वो क्राइम करके पहुंच गए हैं, अब उनको एजुकेट करो. समझ गए बात को? दिस इज द बेस्ट वे टू रिड्यूस क्राइम. दिस वुड बी रॉन्ग. दिस कैन प्रिवेंट री-ऑफेंस. But this cannot stop first time crime, na? So first time crime कैसे रोकना है कि शुरू से ही crime कम हो. Educate people, children, education वैसे improve करो, ठीक है? और unemployment का को tackle करो. Illiteracy, poverty, unemployment, ये root causes हैं, इनको government को tackle करना चाहिए. और अगर आपने इसकी बात करनी है कि repeat crime कैसे कम होगा, तो rehabilitate these people. इनको बाहर आके इनको entrepreneurs बनने में help करो so that they can do their own work and earn their bread and butter. Make them self-sufficient so that they don't need to re-offend. Okay, that is the second step. So now can you handle this essay if it comes? You understood ना कि एक बार educating people in prison best way कैसे हो सकता है? मतलब prison में तो पहुंच चुके हैं ना वो लोग. तो रिड्यूस करने का बेस्ट वे नहीं ना होगा. रिड्यूस करने का बेस्ट वे है कि शुरू से ही पहली बार क्राइम को रोको. ओके.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Excuse me. Ma'am, there's one line that this is because most people avoid hiring criminals and there is need to change society's attitude towards criminal. Ma'am, can you please explain this line? Because in class, I was not present that day, so I can't understand this paragraph.
Yes.
And this came in mock test also.
Yes, people have to be, people have to be you know, um, motivated to hire such people and give them jobs so that when they start earning, they will not do crime again. You know, it's a very funny incident, but what happened? 91, we had our own house, made our own house, and there was woodwork left. So when we shifted to that house, we got the woodwork done after shifting. So for about 3 months, the carpenters were there in our house, and they were making all the doors and, you know, windows and all. We were living there only. And I used to, because a hospital is in the same premises, my nursing home. So just one day before they finished the work, they were all sitting together. I used to give them tea 2 times and, you know, talk to them for 5-10 minutes. So just one day before, they did a wonderful job. Even today, if anybody comes and sees the woodwork done in our house, they say that it's a wonderful piece of work they've done. It's really, really good. Just one day before going there, they told me that, ma'am, we have been in prison for about a year for some offense, and there we learned carpentry. There was a very, you know, whatever. Had they told
Yes.
us this before, I mean,
Yes, ma'am. There are some like criminal fairs also. It is held in Himachal Pradesh. I had seen in Nahan that some items made by criminals are sold at very high rate because
Yes.
they are handmade.
Yes, and they are very, very nicely made, and the woodwork
Yes,
they
ma'am.
did was really excellent. Okay, but
Yes.
I'm just telling you that had I known it before, I would have
Yes,
thought
ma'am.
twice. I would have thought twice. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. But then, you know, they're really well-behaved people. They did a very good job, and they did not cause any problem to us. So society's attitude has to be changed. You know, the people have to be educated that now they are reformed. They will not do any such thing. But yes, it is good to be careful. It is good to be careful. Okay. But they should
Okay,
not
ma'am.
be, you know, shunned away, because then they will commit crime. They will be forced to commit crime again. Okay. Then the next essay is, prison is a common way in most countries to solve the problem of crime. However, a more effective solution is to provide people a better education, agree or disagree. Now, prison, वही वाले points, the same points again and again you have to write. Prisons are expensive to maintain. Okay. Prisons are universities of crime. And so these 2 points are the main points which go against prisons. And better education is the point, definitely. But then you can give a concession that prisons are needed. You know, there are people who commit heinous crime. There are mentally sick people, the serial killers, they are mentally sick people. Okay. They can never be reformed. So they need to be separated. The society, they need to be separated from the society. So we cannot say that we can do away with prisons if we give a very good education. Prisons will always be needed, but education is much better to stop crime happening in the first place. Is that now will you be able to attempt that essay? Prisons ke points wahi repeat ho rahe baar baar. ठीक है? All right. Certain people believe that the only way to reduce crime is sentencing criminals for longer time periods, long term in prison, while others believe alternative methods should be used. So what is better, long terms in prisons or alternative methods? And what are the alternative methods? This is the question.
Ma'am, it is depend on the crime. I mean the level of crime they made.
ओके ज्योति, एक मैं आपकी करेक्शन कर रही हूँ ग्रामर की, आपको स्पीकिंग में भी ले, अगर आप इट्स डिपेंड बोलते हो ना, इट इज डिपेंड, ये टोटली रॉन्ग इंग्लिश है. इट्स डिपेंड्स, इट्स डिपेंड रॉन्ग है, बहुत बच्चे बोलते हैं इट्स डिपेंड. और इट्स डिपेंड अगर मुंह से निकल गया ना तो स्पीकिंग में बहुत नेगेटिव जाएगा. क्या बोलोगे आगे से?
इट डिपेंड्स.
इट डिपेंड्स, एस कहाँ लगना है? डिपेंड के साथ. ओके, इट्स डिपेंड गलत है, बहुत जने बोलते हैं. तो मैं ये आपको ये बता रही हूँ बिकॉज इसके साथ ना स्पीकिंग में बहुत इफेक्ट पड़ जाता है इंट्रोसेक्स में. क्योंकि आप ना बहुत जो लोग ये गलत बोलते हैं, एक ये वर्ड बोला बहुत जाता है स्पीकिंग में. आप हर आंसर में, दूसरे आंसर में बोलोगे इट्स डिपेंड, वो गलत हो जाएगा. इट शुड बी इट डिपेंड्स. Okay. And I am sure there are 10-12 more students here who would be saying the same thing, and they are learning that now. So don't commit this.
I am also, ma'am.
Yes, देखा आपने, आप कई लोग सीखते हैं. Representative होती हैं, एक जना करता है, उसकी करेक्शन होती है, पर 10-15 और बच्चों का फायदा होता है करेक्शन करने. ठीक है?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Research suggests that majority of criminals who are sent to prison would commit crimes when set free. Why would they commit crime when set free? This is the question. Who will answer?
Ma'am, can I ask something?
Yes.
Ma'am, which book are you referring here? Because I had just purchased a book and I cannot find these essays here.
These essays are there in the academic book. You are a general student?
Oh, yes, yes.
Yeah, what I'm referring here is a compiled book of ideas. My daughter has written this book. She's working on it actually, finishing stages now. She's been working on this book for the last 1 whole year. She's been dedicating time to it. And बहुत अच्छी बन रही है, but अभी इसको बस ये प्रूफ रीड है एक तरह से, जो अभी मैं आपको कराने के टाइम कर रही हूँ. And then it will go in print. This is ideas for not just IELTS, for TOEFL, for PT, for any essays that are seen in these English as a second language. Those students have to take these tests. They have to write essays. So this will be ideas book for them. And these are the common essays everywhere. Okay. Now, my question is, why would criminals, after coming out of prison, commit crime again? That is the question. Tejinder, would you like to answer?
Ma'am, the main reason would be the society would not accept them, as it was mentioned earlier.
Yes, yes. So,
And yes.
So they would be forced to commit crime. They have to, earn their bread and butter. They would be forced to commit crime. All right. Proper function of prisons is to punish criminals, and life in prison should be hard. Do you agree or disagree?
Ma'am, I didn't get the question.
ये ऐसे आया हुआ है और ये मैं यही सुनना चाहती थी, समझ नहीं आया, इसलिए बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है कि तेजिंदर आप अपनी बुक के जो 200 ऐसे हैं, 200 से थोड़े कम है, वो पूरे पढ़ लेना टॉपिक्स. ओके, ताकि एग्जाम में ये सिचुएशन ना आ जाए कि उनमें से कोई टॉपिक आया हो और आपको पता ना हो. बिल्कुल उस टाइम समझना पड़े, जो भी आपको समझ आए फिर उस हिसाब से लिखो.
Okay, ma'am.
I think it depends on brutal crime. Like if it's a crime is so brutal and
आप मेरा क्वेश्चन सुनो दोबारा. Proper function of prisons is to punish criminals. Is that the proper function of prisons, to punish criminals? के prisons के और भी functions हैं. पहले तो इस half of the statement से agree disagree करो. आपने इसको ignore मारा है अपने answer में बिल्कुल. This would be very wrong. So whenever you get an IELTS essay, now look this essay, look at I'll speak the whole sentence. Look at this. Proper function of prisons is to punish criminals, and life in prisons should be hard. So there are two halves of the statement. पहले half कह रहा है कि proper function of prisons is to punish criminals. दूसरा half कह रहा है life in prisons should be hard. Sometimes it so happens you cannot agree with the whole sentence. You agree with the first half, or you disagree with the first half, but you agree with the second half. So you can make your introduction like that also. While I agree that life in prisons should be hard, I do not agree that the proper function of prisons is only to punish criminals. The proper function of prisons is to punish as well as rehabilitate them so that they become productive citizens of tomorrow. ये आप लिख सकते हो ना ऐसे में ऐसे?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
तो बेसिकली लाइफ इन प्रिजन्स हार्ड होनी चाहिए. अगर अंदर आपको आरामदेह लाइफ मिलेगी तो फिर तो लोग जैसे हिंदी मूवीज में नहीं कहते, रोटी 2 वक्त की रोटी मिलती, चल कुछ क्राइम करते हैं, अंदर चलते हैं. पुरानी मूवीज में ऐसे बहुत सीन्स थे, हमारे टाइम की मूवीज में, कि
Yes.
छोटी मोटी लड़ाई करी और जेल के अंदर फिर मुफ्त की रोटी खाने चले गए. ठीक है. So life in prison should be hard. Okay. And the proper function, you can say, I disagree with the former half of the statement, which says that proper function of prisons is to punish criminals. But I agree with the latter half, which says that the life in prisons should be hard. ठीक है. तो आप इससे फिर एक पैरा बना दो, why you disagree with the first half. तो फिर आप बोल दो कि rehabilitation is, फिर उसके बाद repeat crime की बात कर लो, वो prevent होएगी उससे. एजुकेशन, जॉब ट्रेनिंग, वो करके आप ये कर सकते हो कि इनका प्रॉपर फंक्शन है टू मेक द criminals of today useful and productive citizens of tomorrow. This is the proper function of prisons. not punishing them only. Okay. The second half says life in prison should be hard. For that, you can make a paragraph. Yes, life in prison should be hard because only then people outside will be deterred to do crime. Okay, will be stopped to do crime. And these people also will not want to come back again. So ये आप एक पैरा बना सकते हो. तो आपको ऐसे भी करा दिया मैंने अभी. 2 पैरे कैसे बनाओ, 4 पैरे कैसे लिख सकते हो. Okay. So ये ideas ये हमने कर लिया इससे. Now
मैम मेरा एक पॉइंट था.
हाँ बोलो.
जो अभी आपने पहले मेंशन किया था कि प्रिजन एजुकेशन इज नॉट इनफ फॉर देम बिकॉज हमें फर्स्ट में ही कंट्रोल कर लेना चाहिए एंड सोसाइटी विल नॉट एक्सेप्ट. बट अगर हम उनको स्पेशलाइजेशन वाली जो एजुकेशन देते हैं तो वो उनके काम आ सकती है.
वोकेशनल होगी ना, जैसे कारपेंट्री है या
वोकेशनल
सिखाते हैं वोकेशनल. वो भी पता है काम कब आएगा अगर वो अपना काम करेंगे. आई मीन लोग उनको घर में नहीं आने देंगे कि हमारे घर, जैसे मैंने अपना घर में वुड वर्क कराया रह के बीच में. Okay, people will not accept them to that level. Okay, but yes, they become self-sufficient. They can work and then they can sell their products. Okay, people will not accept them as such. ठीक है?
Okay, okay.
But there should be a government effort, like to before they should educate and do some vocational education, so that it should not be.
Government effort should be there. Government can do a lot. You know, government can give incentives to those companies or organizations which hire ex-criminals, ताकि उनको job मिल जाए. और of course जिनका अंदर से उनकी रिपोर्ट भी तो जाएगी ना कि these are nice people. आप कई आप देखते ही हो criminals अंदर life in prisons बड़ी अच्छी लीड करते हैं. They set examples for others. कईयों ने अंदर बैठ के novels लिख डाले. They actually crime जो है वो circumstances के अंडर आके करा. Basically they are not wrong people, but then पनिशमेंट तो मिलनी है और इनको रिफॉर्म होने का भी. तो ये सारे पॉइंट्स आप डाल सकते हो. ठीक है.
Can we say, ma'am, these positive things should be reported in the media or?
Yes, what they have done, and they can be reported in the media. Okay. All right. This essay is there. Yes.
I have a question. Ma'am, this rehabilitation and vocational training are same or different?
Rehabilitation means उनको rehabilitate करना means उनको वापस एक तरह से अपनी रोजी रोटी अर्न करने के काबिल करना, उसको rehabilitation कहते हैं. Okay. Rehabilitation is different. और कौन से वर्ड का आप कह रहे थे?
Vocational training.
क्या? माइक के पास.
Vocational training.
हाँ, मैं आपको ना
Vocational training.
हाँ, मैं दोनों का डिफरेंस कराती हूँ. ओके. एक मिनट. ये देखो. Rehabilitate is to help somebody to have a normal, useful life. Again, after they have been very ill, sick or in prison for a long time. Prison की भी बात करी हुई यहाँ पे. इसको rehabilitation कहते हैं. Okay. The process of helping somebody, rehabilitation is the process. Sorry. It is the process of helping somebody to have a normal, useful life again after they have been very ill, sick, or in prison for a long time. The act of starting to consider that somebody is good or acceptable after a long period during which they were considered bad or unacceptable. इसको rehabilitation कहते हैं. कितनी अच्छी definition है rehabilitation की. ठीक है. और दूसरा वर्ड क्या था आप जो कह रहे थे उसकी भी मीनिंग निकालती हूँ. Vocational education. Vocational होती है जो vocational is connected with the skills, knowledge that you need to have in order to do a particular job. All right, this is vocational, like carpentry, like sewing. Okay, like yes.
And is it paid dictionary?
Oxford, I have paid for it. because I have
Okay.
a Mac, in Mac I could not get I could not find any solution. I had to pay for it, but they have discontinued it. So if I delete it once, I'll not be able to get it back. Oxford 9 and 10 has come. For Mac, they have no solution. I have bought this dictionary. Okay.
Right.
But it's very useful. It's a very good dictionary. Now it's for Mac, there's nothing. For Windows, I think you will be able to find a crack for that. Oxford is OALD, Oxford Advanced Learners Dictionary. This is 9th edition.
Okay,
After
ma'am.
that, for Mac, there was no alternative.
Ma'am, how much you paid for this?
I paid 2,500.
25 for year.
2,500 one time.
Achha, one time, ma'am.
Yeah, one time I paid. Okay. So that is, so I got the download link. I paid that and it got the download for one Mac. I can't put it in my other systems. For everything, I'll have to buy separately. For my phone,
Ma'am, it's a good dictionary.
very good, very good. It has got the pronunciations also.
Yes,
Everything
ma'am.
very nice, very
Example
nice.
is, ma'am,
They have
example
examples
is,
also. They have also
examples.
examples
Yes,
also.
ma'am.
Very nice. Yes.
Ma'am.
I knew the benefits of this dictionary. That is why I paid for
Yes,
it.
ma'am.
Yes.
And ma'am,
Okay, so I was
sports can be the another solution for that. Sports.
Yes, sports also. That can be a solution because these young people have energy and you have to channelize their energy in good. Yes, that's a very good point you can put. And many prisons are offering these sports also. They are making them players. Okay. I watched a South Indian movie recently in which there's a prisoner who is taught chess and then he, wins the world chess championship. It's based on a true story. I don't know, it's Malayalam or Telugu, Tamil, all these movies, they are very nice, the South Indian movies. They have a storyline. But anyways, now I was going to guide you one thing. The class is almost over. The one thing I wanted to guide you is that you can make one page in your, you can make one page in your book, notebook or register about the different, education vocabulary, crime vocabulary, media vocabulary, job essays vocabulary, architecture essays vocabulary. Make one page on these and then, put around 20-30 words of each on that page. And if you get any essay related to job, you can just remember 3-4 words you can put. That will take care of the lexical resource part of the, this thing. And you got so many words today for the crime essays. You got, there's one more word I would like to teach you. You can put that also. For prisons, what are prisons called?
Members.
Prisons ko na penitentiary kehte hain. Penitentiary. Okay, I'll just show you. This is penitentiary. प्रोनाउंसिएशन ये टर्शरी के स्पेलिंग ऐसे होते हैं ना, TERTIARY, उसको हम टर्शरी बोलते हैं, तो इसको पेनिटेंशरी नहीं बोलते. दिस इज पेनिटेंचरी. च की आवाज है. Penitentiary. Penitentiary is a prison. So you can say penitentiaries are not the best solution for, petty crime. Petty crime कौन सा होता है? Petty crime. अब वो भी वर्ड कर लो. Penitentiary नोट कर लिया आपने? PENI.
Yes, ma'am.
हाँ, okay. Petty crime कौन सा होता है? Small, unimportant, minor.
Small type of crime.
हाँ, misdemeanor. Misdemeanor क्या होता है? Misdemeanor, bad but not very serious. वही petty crime. इसको misdemeanor भी कहते हैं. Misdemeanor. इसको misdemeanor भी कहते हैं. Words में ज्यादा नहीं करती हूँ. Felony is serious crime. Okay? Felony is serious crime. Heinous crime. Heinous. एक मिनट. हेनस क्राइम क्या होता है?
Ma'am, crimes like rape.
हाँ, morally very bad. Heinous crime. Okay. Word origin.
Serious.
हाँ,
Life threatening.
हाँ, yes, heinous crime.
Like ma'am, murder, honor
हाँ,
killing.
murders and rapes and all these are heinous crimes. Or you can then there is the serious crime like heinous crime हो गया, petty crime हो गया, misdemeanor होगा. आपको मैंने words करा दिया काफी crime के. Now if you get an essay,
Ma'am,
inmates
excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, yes.
Ma'am, can we use felony for heinous?
हाँ, then
Heinous crime.
heinous के साथ crime word use करते हैं. For people who commit
Yes, ma'am.
felony, they should be sent to prison.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
right. That. Yes. Okay. But the sentence has to be made related to that. All right.
Okay, ma'am.
So this is one way to prepare for the writing and the speaking both. Whatever word you speak in the speaking, it should, even if it is a big word and you have to struggle to speak it, then don't speak it. Believe me, if you will compensate your fluency just for speaking out a word, it will be harmful for the overall band score. Remember that. I'm telling a fact. Speak very simple English, just like you are speaking to a friend. One of my students got a 9. Many have got 8.5. They would come out and tell me, ma'am, I felt I was speaking to a friend. I didn't even realize it was a interview going on. My nephew got 8.5 in speaking. He said, I was also laughing. The examiner was also laughing. I was answering. He's got a great sense of humor. My nephew, very great sense of humor. So whenever you have a conversation with him, you can't help laughing. वो एग्जामिनर को भी ऐसे हंसास हो आया 10-15 8.5 बैंड ले आया तो मैं एग्जामिनर हंस रहा था मैं भी हंस रहा था बस ये हुआ है मेरी स्पीकिंग कुछ नहीं हुई. So that is exactly what happened. So you have to be very casual, look very composed. Don't make the examiner feel you are struggling to speak English. Speak very simple English which flows out of your mouth nicely. Some students start thinking of words to put in and fluency is compromised. That should not be done at any cost. Right? So just think, even in writing, when you write simple, you commit less grammatical errors. That is the main reason I tell my students to go simple. Okay? That is the main reason. And it has really helped many students who could not even dream of getting a 7. Many of such students have got a 7 or 7+. All right.
Ma'am, is it important to speak for about 2 minutes or we can speak
no.
for less also?
No, you cannot speak for less. You have to speak till the examiner stops you.
Okay.
And generally they stop you before 2 minutes. And if the examiner stops you, then you have to stop speaking. और इसमें भी मैं आपको बड़ी मजेदार बात बता रही हूँ. You know what? One of my students, उसको history की quotation रटाई थी मैंने. Essay में भी डल जाती ना, history is the witness of the times, the taught, the teacher of life, the life of memory, the messenger of antiquity. अब ये history की quotation है. History को क्यों पढ़ना जरूरी है? इसकी हर word में history का एक point है क्यों पढ़ना जरूरी है. So it's a messenger of the times. It is the torch. It is the teacher of antiquity. अब उसने रट ली. अब एग्जामिनर ने हिस्ट्री पे क्वेश्चन पूछ लिया. कहना मैम मैं बड़ा खुश हुआ. मैं ना बस फिर कोटेशन शुरू कर दी. Okay, he got 5.5. मतलब कोटेशंस मत बोलना. उसके बैंड कोई ज्यादा अच्छे नहीं थे. पर कहता है एग्जामिनर मुझे रोक रहा था. ओके अगला क्वेश्चन. मैंने कहा सुन अब मैं रट्टा मार के आया हूँ. सुन अब पूरी मैं सुना के आया मैम उसको. So that is very rude. Don't do like that. If the examiner stops you, then stop there. Okay, that is fine. तो बिल्कुल ऐसे उसने आगे में मैंने बोला सुन अब मैं रट्टा मार के आप सुननी पड़ेगी. तो and one of the students says मैम आप बोलते हो क्रॉस लेग नहीं बैठना एग्जामिनर के सामने. मैम मैं तो क्रॉस लेग बैठी. उसने कुछ नहीं बोला. बस उसने बोला कुछ नहीं. बैंड 5.5 थे उसके. तो sit like that, shoulders straight, have your passport in your hand और अपने हाथ ऐसे रखना अपनी लैप. इससे क्या होता है? फिजिटिंग नहीं होती. फिजिटिंग होती है ना, नर्वसनेस में आपको पता भी नहीं चलता, वो रुक जाती है. If you have your hands like this on your lap, like this, sit like this, so there'll not be any fidgeting and you will be answering nicely. ठीक है? And shoulders ऐसे straight रखना, stooping will not help. And yes, and legs cross leg नहीं रखनी, ऐसे सीधे बैठना. मैं legs नहीं दिखा रही हूँ, but आपको ऐसे सीधे बैठना. ठीक है? So wish you all the best. किन का एग्जाम है, पास में?
Ma'am, can I ask one
Yes,
question?
yes.
Ma'am, how time in writing essay, ma'am?
I couldn't
Can
hear.
one essay it take what?
Essay takes more time than 40 minutes. That is what you are saying.
Yes, ma'am. 45
Okay,
it
Gagan?
takes yesterday. It took yesterday,
Yes.
and after I had seen that there was 300 more than 300 words.
You should never write more than 300. You should never write more than 260 words, Gagan. You need very less band score. You should write 260, 70
Yes,
words
ma'am.
and read them again and again. Practice that many words essay. You will know. If you write 5-10 essays of 260, 70 words, you will know this is the length. You don't have to count after every line. You can't waste time like that. Okay? So just have,
Okay,
just remember.
yesterday only कल किया था मैम, क्योंकि
लंबा
मतलब
नहीं
ये
लिखो,
5
बिल्कुल
मिनट एक्स्ट्रा ले लिया मेरा.
लंबा नहीं लिखना बिल्कुल भी आपने. लंबा नहीं लिखना. लंबा अगर आपकी
Okay, ma'am. Thank
errors होती हैं तो लंबा लिखना हार्मफुल हो जाता है. Don't write lengthy essay. Okay?
मैम
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes.
मैम
Yes.
मैम अभी आप जो बुक के बारे में डिस्कस कर रही थी, ये कब तक आ जाएगी ये वाली बुक?
अभी टाइम है बेटे, 2 months तो मिनिमम लगेंगे.
ओके.
अभी तो प्रूफ रीड हो रही है.
मैम मिनिमम कितना मिनट होना चाहिए हमें रिपीट? ओके, सॉरी.
क्या कितने मिनट क्या होना चाहिए?
जैसे ऐसे को एक बार दोबारा रीचेक करने के लिए कितना टाइम होना चाहिए?
कम से कम 5 मिनट आपके
अपना सेव रखना चाहिए हमको.
5 minutes. I tell
Okay,
my
ma'am. Thank
students that writing को 1 hour का मत समझो, 50 minutes का समझो. दोनों टास्क को 50 minutes में कर लो और फिर दोनों को रिवाइज
Yes,
करो. ठीक है? That is it. All right.
Yes. Thank you.
Tomorrow morning. Bye.